Hey Simlies, it's Deligracy here, and today I am finishing my childhood home. I'm so sorry it took so long for me to actually get this second part of the build out. As you guys probably know, builds take a lot longer than Let's Plays to put together because it actually takes quite a bit of time to create them, and then once you create them, you have to edit them, speed them up, and then you need to record over them and then export and then upload. So it's quite a long process compared to an LP where you sit down and record and then export. So apologies for that I haven't had an extra good day and a half to do it. But now I have. I'm excited because I love sharing with you guys basically the home that I grew up in when I was younger. And in the first part, I was reading the comments, and a lot of you guys were like, whoa, you're lucky you lived in a really big house. The thing is, I don't think it was as big as this looks, but because I'm remembering it from a child's point of view, like Little Delhi, everything would have seemed a lot bigger than it was. So I just wanted to make that clear. I wasn't brought up in a very affluent household or anything like that. And I guess when we actually play the LP, you guys will kind of see a bit more about that, and should be a hoot and a half. But anyways, today was a beautiful day here in Melbourne in Australia. It was like 32 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it was really warm. It was hot actually. And I was at work today, so I was in an air conditioned office for most of the day, but when I got outside, I was like, oh, wow, it's hot. So I just went straight to the beach. I dove in at like 6 p.m. into the water, and it was the best swim ever. And then I had grilled fish and salad on the beach with boy Deligracy. So it was a very nice day. And I hope you guys have had a nice day too. But anyways, we're working on my big sister's room. So she actually moved rooms when she basically became a teenager. She moved into this room at the front of the house, which I don't think was finished until a few years after we moved in. So what I'm actually trying to do here with all the weird colors on the wall is this was kind of an unfinished area of the house where I feel like the ground was concrete. I can't really remember. But what my parents let her do is she and her friend and one of her friend's mums, they completely covered this wall that I'm covering with pictures in a hand-painted mural, and it was really, really cool. It looked awesome. So really the best way I felt that I could do that in The Sims without getting them to paint a painting and then I guess sizing it up. Not sure if you can even do that with paintings. Someone could let me know. That'd be interesting in the comments down below if you can use the bracket keys to size up a painting by a sim. But so I just decided I would overlay all the kind of more decal looking pictures, and it would, in a way, I guess, convey what it was like. But it was super colorful. It was really like full of all these random pictures. I remember there was like 8 pool ball on the wall with like fire coming from it. There was this was it a mermaid or something, and like all this random stuff. It's pretty good. And anyways, I think she got my parents' waterbed too. They had a waterbed. It was so cool. What happened to waterbeds? Like, I haven't seen a waterbed since I was in this house when I was really little. And I remember everyone used to have them. They were warm, they were super comfortable. Apparently, they were really good for your back. But this one ended up popping, I think, because one of my sister's friends jumped on it and it went pop. And and we weren't able to fix it. So that was the end of that waterbed. But she was really athletic, my sister. She used to win lots of running races to the point where she was known as the really athletic chick who won all the cross countries in the different school competitions. So in one race, I believe 2 girls deliberately tripped her up at the starting line and she won anyway, I think. So that was pretty cool. She showed them, but she always had interesting art on her walls. I remember her friends used to draw her things and she'd put them on the wall, and she is a great singer. She's very musical. I can't sing, but she can, so that's why we'll pop some musical things in there later. This is my bedroom that we're going to be working on, Little Deli's bedroom. I think it was yellow, and I had a bunk bed, so I'm just trying to figure out how to make the end of that bunk bed. It does take me a little while. But very, very fond memories having friends stay over, and I always slept on the bottom bunk, which I think if you guys have a bunk bed, or if you guys had a bunk bed, did you choose to sleep on the top or the bottom, or did you share with a sibling so you were made to like sleep on the top or the bottom? I just chose to sleep on the bottom because I didn't share a room with my sister. So it was just really for when friends came over, they would sleep on the top bunk. And I have a funny story to tell you guys in the LP about the bunk bed, but I'll save that for when we get into actual gameplay. And I don't know what I was trying to do here. I was like, this kind of looks like the end of a bunk bed, doesn't it? No, not really. So we get there in the end. There was also a trapdoor in my room. So my sister's bedroom used to be right next door, like the empty room on the right-hand side. That used to be her bedroom. So my dad put a little trapdoor in the wall that we like slid open and crawled through to each other's rooms, and it was situated under both of our desks, and that was really, really cool. And so we're going to pop that in there soon as well. My sister's room, you might have noticed, also has a few trophies and like awards on the wall. We'll add more. Oh, that symbolizes a trapdoor. That was the closest thing I could find, a window. And anyway, because she was so athletic, she had lots of trophies, and I never had a trophy. So there's another funny story about that, which we'll put into gameplay as well. Lots of weird things I'm going to be revealing about my childhood, weird, funny things. And yeah, I had a desk. I didn't have a computer when I was little. Computers were not as much around as they are now, obviously, and they were a lot more expensive. So we had one computer in the house, which I actually played Sim Safari on and SimTown. I don't know if SimTown and Sim Safari they're not really often affiliated with the Sims game, but the fact that it is SimTown and Sim Safari, and it's kind of the same idea of a life simulation game, I feel like I started playing The Sims from those games. You guys might be wondering what's going on here. I'm placing books on the ground and toys around them. It's because when I was little, I used to play teacher, and I would lay all my books down as desks, all my little chapter books, and put my toys behind them. And they would be the toys' desks, and then I would teach the toys from the front of the class. All different kinds of things. I'd make worksheets. I actually made worksheets for my parents too. I remember there was one worksheet. Actually, I'm going to save that for the LP too, because that's funny. I'm just going to have to like write all of these ideas down in my phone. Like I'm doing that right now. I'm just opening up notes so I don't forget, because they're funny stories. Just really quirky things. Anyways, so that kind of symbolizes a blackboard, that butcher painting of the llama down the bottom. There are a lot of spiders in my house, so I put a spider on my wall. I was never scared of spiders. I'm not afraid of spiders, actually. So because my dad always told me not to be scared of them. He said spiders like your friends, so even though they don't like to be touched, like don't go picking them up. I think someone told me I used to pick up huntsmans. I don't know. I picked up a huntsman once. I don't remember doing it, but I wouldn't pick up a huntsman now, but I'm okay with spiders. I don't like snakes. Snakes are the thing that I'm like, ooh. A common misconception about Australia is that we have lots of scary animals. We don't. By me saying there are spiders in my house probably makes it sound like there is. But it was just, wherever you grow up, you're always going to have different wildlife to other countries in the world, and those other countries will think it's really weird or scary. when you've grown up with it, so it's not weird or scary to you. It's just like exactly the same. I I don't know anyone who's had a terrible spider bite or has been attacked by anything awful or anything like that. So it's a safe place. It's a cool place. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid at all. I promise that Australia is not a scary place to be. I think I would be scared going to the Amazon. That's what I would be scared of. This is the other room. When my sister moved out, I don't even know what was in there. I think there was a spare bed. But we also had a piano, and I want to use the piano in the LP, so I'm just going to put the piano in here because it didn't really fit in the rest of the house. Because we didn't have a grand piano, it was just like a normal piano against the wall. So I'm just putting that in there for now. The room will be utilized as another room later in the LP, but we'll see that. And this room here was my mum's home office, and my dad worked outside mostly, so I guess he stored his like stuff in the filing cabinets and stuff like that. But I think mum used the desk, and I can't really remember how the desks went, but I feel like the desks looked out the window, so I've kind of overlapped these. I know some of you guys won't like that overlapping look of the desks, but I kind of like it, so I'm going to leave it like that. Yeah, and I also remember having a lot of fresh flowers in the house, a lot of incense burning. My mum loves incense. A lot of nag champa burning, actually. If you guys know what that incense is, that's really my favorite, definitely my favorite incense. If I smell that, I feel like I'm home. And we had a lot of gumboots around the sides of the house. Where I grew up, it was pretty wet, often in winter, so we had to have a lot of gumboots around the place. And apparently when I was little, like a toddler, okay, a kid, I would run around nude with just my gumboots on. My parents said, you have to wear your gumboots. So I did. But I would be nude and I would run around in them. This is my parents' room, and I can't really remember the furniture in here. I remember the waterbed was up there once upon a time, but they had like a day bed in the corner that my mum would kind of read on. So I used kind of the bay window and the ottomans there to symbolize that. I know I've used this print twice, but I really like the colors in it. And then I'm pretty sure you'll notice some of these walls are unpainted. I've left them deliberately because I think there was some unpainted walls in that little walk-in wardrobe and bathroom there. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And that's really what we're doing. Also, when we do get to the screenshots soon, I actually am recording on my laptop because I'm not home right now. So the quality of the screenshots are a little bit off because I got the screenshots from my laptop game rather than my desktop gameplay. So apologies for when we do get to those if they're looking a little bit rough around the edges. This upstairs room was a rumpus room. It's also where we had our Christmas tree. I remember it got really hot in the summer, and I remember wrapping ropes around my beanie kids. I think I said this in the first part, and throwing them over the side of the balustrade there downstairs to give my beanie kids bungee jumps. So I just throw them over. And I used to go, when I was downstairs, I would climb up the inside of the staircase and see how far I could get. But I'd get in trouble if I went too far. So my parents didn't let me do that for very long. All right, so we are going to go into the screenshots in a second. Here we go. So this is the exterior of the house. I've used a toy car there. And there's the other side. My dad used to do a lot of outdoor work and welding. So that's what that our thing is for. Then this is the dining room kitchen. Or we also saw the lounge room there. And then this little pantry area. Oh no, we didn't go to it. There's like a little pantry, and I remember licking my fingers, and then I would sneak into the pantry and dip my licked fingers. Here we go. Into the icing sugar and eat it. And that was like my thing. Oh, good times, good times. These chairs, Actually, why did I put one in front of a door? That was silly. There's a trapdoor. Those chairs are like IKEA chairs. They're not meant to be massage chairs. There's my bedroom. Oh, memories. I remember I'd had to go to bed early and Mum would put the curtains down even though I knew it was light outside. I was like, oh, don't want to miss out. My sister's room and her mural wall, which was so cool. I want to see photos of that again. It was epic. Her room, big windows, very light and bright that room was, and then the upstairs area as well. So that's pretty much my house. I'd love to hear about where you guys grew up. Let me know in the comments down below what your homes were like when you were little. But anyways, I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are in the world, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.